and welcome back to Stitchcraft. My name is Mary the Stitchcraft Queen, and today is Thursday, October 16th. Yeah, 16th. Yes, this is a Thursday. I did not have time to do this yesterday, but I wanted to hop on and do this update, slash video slash whatever we're calling this, because it's probably, hopefully, fingers crossed, going to be the last one before baby comes. I am week 36 now and 3 days. I keep telling her she has 4 days and then I need to kick her out because then we'll be at week 37 on Monday. So pretty crazy that we're really at the point where she could come at any time, but we're very, very excited. I am very excited to have her out of me, finally. I am over being pregnant by a lot. But yeah, it's been 2 weeks, I believe, since our last one. And I have gotten so much done. So yes, let us begin, I guess. So I actually have 2 finished objects. And I'm very excited, very, very excited. And by finished, I mean they are done being knit, the ends are woven in, however, they are not blocked and they don't have buttons. I literally am going to block them as soon as I'm done with this video. And then I wanted to block them first and then put buttons on after, so that the button placement is correct based on how the fabric moves. But yeah, I originally did not think I was going to finish these before baby came because I knew I was going to run out of yarn. But I ordered 3 more skeins, which ended up being like way too much. I only needed 2. Really like 1.5 skeins is what I ended up using. But there's enough to either make a hat for my husband or a little, not this type of cardigan, but a sweater for baby eventually to match. But anyways, it came so fast. I ordered it from Eat Sleep Knit, which is an awesome yarn store, I believe in Georgia, if I remember right. I got it from them because that's originally where I ordered the second half of this yarn from. I was able to get, it was like 8 skeins, if I remember right, from my local yarn store in Colorado. And then I had to order the rest off of Eat Sleep Knit. Because they did not have enough of it at my local yarn store for what I needed. So I decided to go with them because I'm like, well, even though it's been 2 years, the dye lot is not going to be the same, but hopefully, you know, at least we'll be from the same place, I guess, was my line of thinking. Okay, but anyways, without further ado, and this one is my husband's. Oh, if it will. I grabbed it inside out somehow. But here it is. I need to like, hold on. Ugh. Pregnant lady standing up, I know, terrible. But this is what it looks like. This is Fisherman cardigan. Here's the back. I absolutely love these cable details, and they're on both the front and the back of the sleeves. So yes, last week, or 2 weeks ago, that is where I was at, right here. Disregard this little mayo thing. This was so I knew which one was his and which one was mine. But I was right here at his little Luke Skywalker dude. I just had decreases left, so I finished the decreases literally I made it all the way to like this, literally to right here, like the second to last row, using his skein that was already attached, and then I ran out. So for the last, like, it was like 5 rows, I just grabbed the outside of the skein that was attached to my sweater and my sleeve at the time, and just knit the 5 rows and then cut it, and that was that. Yeah, and then I did mine, which I can show you mine too, and then we can talk about the button band, because I did modify the button band. And here's mine, same thing, just a little bit smaller. And I was at about the same place as I was on his arm. Again, it was just really the decreases. Again, on the inside, you can see I made it to right there with the skein that was attached to mine. And then I ran out. Luckily, I don't think you can tell really at all because of the way the yarn just is. I love this color, and I had so many different skeins, and I did not alternate any of them. And I don't think you can really even tell that it would be from different dye lots or anything. But yeah, so then I got that far and I had to put them away, ordered more yarn. The yarn literally came in, I ordered it on a Friday because I got paid on a Friday, and I got a nice big paycheck from all my hard work, thank goodness. So I had enough to order the extra skeins. And that was a little birthday present to myself. Yes, it was my birthday last Friday, actually. Yeah, so it was almost a week ago now, which is kind of crazy because it doesn't feel like it was my birthday. But anyways, and then all I had left to do was to finish this sleeve, and then attach both of them, and then do the button band. I originally started, actually, so the button bands on these, in the pattern, so originally you leave like 13 stitches here. Sorry, you can't see my face because I'm standing. You leave like 13 stitches right here on waste yarn or an extra needle. You're supposed to do it on both sides, but I decided early on I did not want to do that. So this side, you can see, does not have those extra, the ribbing extending out a little further. I decided very early on I did not like how the button band was constructed. It literally said that you will leave this waste yarn, or leave this on waste yarn, and then once the whole sweater is put together and done, you come back with your smaller needles and you just knit a long strip and then you sew it. And if you know me, I hate sewing pieces together, so much so that I literally did these in the round, the sleeves, even though it was like really hard on my hands. I hate sewing pieces together. So anyways, I decided to do something different. So originally, and I started on my husband's, but I picked up the 13 stitches on the smaller needles, and I started knitting up just in the same ribbing, the up and down direction, I guess, of ribbing, and picking up a stitch on the waste yarn, or on the selvage edge, I guess, not the waste yarn, on the selvage edge here. It looked pretty bad. I will say I did not like the look of it. It did kind of look like there was another row of this Fisherman's knit, but I did not like it. So what I ended up doing was picking up stitches along, the whole thing, all the way down to this corner. So it was I think I had it on, it was a 30, it was, because I originally had knit all these pieces basically on a 22 centimeter needle or cord length, and I swapped it from a 22 to, I believe it was bigger than a 30. It was the one right above, so I think it was a 35 or a 40, because it was, it's a long button band. I did along the edges the standard 2 stitches for every 3 selvage edge stitches, and I think it turned out, it's not blocked yet, but I think it turned out pretty good. And then for the sleeves and the back, it was just 1-to-1. I picked up at every stitch or selvage edge stitch, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think it turned out really good. And also the other modification I made is there's supposed to be, on this side, there's supposed to be 6 buttonholes. I only did 5 because I really did not want to do more. So I just did 5. It was gonna be too much math, and I really wanted to get these done. So yes, both of them have 5 buttons, or 5 buttonholes. I ordered the buttons for them. They have not arrived yet. I figured since this is a Irish inspired pattern, it's an Irish, I can't think of it, like stitch. This was a very common stitch and thing to make for warm sweaters for fishermen in Ireland way back in the day. So I found on Etsy, and I like just stumbled across them. I was very lucky. I'm very excited for them to arrive. But they are, sorry, now I'm like out of breath. They are wood buttons, and they have like a Celtic knot on them. They look really, really cool. They're handmade in Ireland, so they won't be here for probably a little while. And it was perfect. They sold them in sets of 5, and so that was absolutely perfect because I need 5 buttons per sweater. So yes, those will be arriving probably in a while. I'm not expecting them anytime soon. My husband knows that. I would have blocked them because these were done on, when was it? Sunday was when I finished them, I believe. So just a few days ago. I would have blocked them, but I was out of wool wash. I used my last little packet to wash the hats and then my blanket that had not been washed. Well, the blanket hadn't been washed, but the hats that I had just finished when I finished them in the summer at some point. But that was my last wool wash packet. So I finally got, this came in the mail, yarny mail stuff, another thing of soap. I feel like all their fragrances, because I got a bunch from my local yarn store, the little packets, because they had them on sale at one point. So I'm like, I'm just going to test a bunch of the fragrances and see which one I like best before I buy a bigger bottle. I think they basically all end up smelling the same. It all smells like wet wool once you're done washing and blocking. So yeah, but anyways, I am going to be blocking these as soon as I'm done with this, but this just came literally yesterday, so I can now actually block them. So I am very excited for that. Okay, so that is my officially finally finished objects. I probably won't update when the buttons, when I put them on. I'll probably like show them off as a yarny thing once they get here, but I probably won't show them again once I put the buttons on. I'll take photos and update Ravelry once the buttons are on, and I can get a cute photo of me and my husband wearing them. But until then, they are marked as finished on Ravelry, and they are finished as far as I'm concerned. Because it will literally hopefully only be an hour of, just adding those buttons real quick once they do arrive. Okay, on to my next project. I know I had time for another project. I did not think that I would even be touching this until after baby was here, but look at me go. Hold on, let me find my stitch marker right there. Okay, so this is the Anthology Throw, and this was the next one I decided to pick back up. And that is because the yarn for this one is sitting, oh, where is it? It's in this closet right here. You can't see it, but it's barely off camera. And I had all the little boxes for the Advent stacked in like groups of 4 on one shelf, and I'm trying to just get rid of those and clear that off. And then my other blankets, the Sweet Shop and the Row one, are on the shelf below that, and I can pull those out, and then everything will be wonderful and beautiful. Okay, so this one I am using my Hue Loco Advent from last year, and it was a floral inspired one. I do not remember the names of any of these colors, but I do have a photo of it, and I will be adding all that information to Ravelry later. It is on my list of things to do, hopefully before baby comes. To update, because I realized when I was finishing my Fisherman cardigans and marking those as finished, I realized that I do not have like photos, and also some of these projects even listed in Ravelry. Because when we moved, I thought that I had updated everything, but I guess I didn't or something. But yeah, so I need to add a photo for this one. And I believe a photo for the Sweet Shop blanket and my Row 1 blanket as well. But anyways, so here it is. I moved it to bigger needles, finally. Ooh, and it's really hard to tell like how big it actually is. But this is like half of it, so it's, I mean, right now, what it goes from, I'm trying to think of what I would call that. like my sternum. It's hard to tell because I can't feel my sternum anymore because of how big my belly is. But yeah, it goes from about my sternum, at least the center part, to the top of my head. So it's a decent length. On the pattern, oh, so I guess that is the thing. This is DK weight. The pattern calls for fingering weight. But when I started this, looked through a bunch of people's projects that they had started, and then the ones with notes. Well, I filtered ones with notes and one with DK. And somebody said that they did the exact same pattern with DK and their 24 milligram or 24 20 gram mini skeins. I forgot if these were 10 or 20 grams. But that doesn't really matter. But anyways, and so what was I gonna say? Now I'm blanking. Oh, but they said they just sized up a needle to a size, I believe it was 7, and did the pattern copy paste the exact same, which is what I've been doing. It's been working well so far. But yeah, this is what the fade is looking like. It's really, really pretty. I'm loving it. I'm loving the color transitions. It makes it really fun to like. And I like it because there is a lot of just plain rounds of knitting, but then you have these fun, if I can get it a little more up close, you have all these fun eyelets. You have these bigger ones and then these smaller ones. And then even right here, this is the increase round, and it makes these cool eyelets as well. So really, really fun pattern. However, on the actual pattern, it says that I am only 45, I think it was 45% done. I only have one page left, and then it is, well, one whole page of the pattern, and then it is the last page, where it's basically you increase and then you do the, what is it? Now I'm blanking again. The border, that's what it's called. So yes, and this, what color am I on? 4, 5, I am on color 6. I just wind them up into little balls. So this is color 5, color 6, and I'm doing it in reverse order. And then I also have color 4 here. I have only 3 colors left that are in the closet, so I'm very excited about that. Oh, and then this is the main skein. I'm going to be doing this around the outside. I mainly chose that because I didn't love the center color with it. It was just a lot of like darks together. And then I remembered the first color was very light. It was a lot of white with just like kind of speckles on it, if I remember correctly. So I decided to do reverse order and then put the main skein on the outside to, you know, kind of like make it stand out a little bit more. But yeah, so let me see if I can remember. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It looks like I was probably on color 18. So I did a lot. Is that 12? Hold on, let me count again. 1, 2, hold on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, I did about 12 colors. And I picked this up, it was over General Conference weekend. So it was not last weekend, but the weekend before is when I really picked it up and started knitting on it again. I will be completely honest, I did not love how the fade was going. And then I got further along into kind of more of these pinks and where it's starting to change to kind of an orange, and I really started to love it. I thought, like, now it's just coming together really well. And that's because it's kind of hard to tell, but right here, kind of in these color changes, it goes from like really nice purples and blues, and all of a sudden you have like an orange and yellows thrown in, but they're like separated by one stripe. And so it just, that kind of looked weird to me for a while until you got to the next few colors after where I was at. So I am really loving it again. It's going really, really good. My only thing is it's hard to tell how big it's gonna be. because I do want it to be a good size throw. And it's hard to tell right now if I'm gonna have enough colors to make it all the way around the outside. The other thing I was thinking of doing, because I was kind of going through my Ravelry the other day when I was, at the hospital waiting for my turn to go back for my OB appointment. But I remembered I, at one point, wanted to learn to do a lot of color work and like doodle cowls and stuff and doodle hats and all those. So I got a couple packages of coordinating yarn from, I'm blanking on the name. I want to say it was Yarnaceous. It might have been Yarnaceous. It might have been another one. But I still have those. And one of them was kind of more of a, I don't want to say like dull, but like more, this is very nature inspired, right? So they're not bright colors. And one of them from the photo looked that way. So I am probably going to try to pull that out at some point and look to see what that looks like. I want to see how far I get with the next little bit of yarn that I do have, because I'm doing it's about 4.5 rows per color right now. So I could probably actually count, honestly, once I get to the end of this, my current yarn. But I mean, if it is like 6 more colors, then that would get me to the end of the pattern. Or at least to the part where you then can use the main color for the border. That might be very beneficial. It just would not be a part of the fade, and so I'm trying to like kind of weigh my options there and see how that would work out. But yes, that is this lovely blanket. I have loved it. I am going to keep working on that. I am probably going to take a nice little break after, getting I have a couple more chores I got to work on real quick, and then once those are done, I am just going to sit in it and relax for a little bit. Yes, so loving my Hue Loco Anthology Throw. So that has been great. Oh, and I have not been, when I get to a new color, I just magic knot it and then snip the ends, and I make sure the knot ends on the back side of the blanket. I don't want to weave it. So that's been nice. And then I get to use up all of the yarn. So yeah. Okay, so that is all of my projects. We actually got to talk for a while about projects today, so that was fun. Oh yeah, I am hoping I can get through at least the Advent colors of my blanket and up to just the main skein left by the end of this weekend. Because that's when baby's going to hopefully come. And I would like to have at least that Advent, kind of done and out of the way. And if I have, one skein left to knit on, I will be totally fine with that. So yes, that is that. Okay, now on to the fun yarny things that came. Let me grab them. I threw them on this desk for a while. Let me make sure this is the right, no, that's the right one. Sorry, there we go, this is the right one I wanted. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so on to yarny things that came in the mail now. First of all, so we already mentioned that though, so that's more of a household item though too. I guess next is, and this is really sad, but this is my last Sunday Fiber Co. Socks Club. And it makes me really sad because I wanted to finish it out. But baby and, being able to make sure that all bills are paid while we are in maternity leave, because of course my company doesn't pay for me to go on maternity leave. But anyways, yeah, that's America. So this is the last one. There were only, I think, 2 or 3 left. So I'm not missing out on a ton, and usually she has extras I have seen in her shop, and so hopefully they will be there, or at least some of them will be there by the time I'm back at work in the new year and I can order them. after the fact, because that would be really awesome. But yeah, anyways, so the first one is what is this? The variegated. And it comes out a lot more kind of red and pinky in normal life than it is on camera. But yeah, there is a lot of also oranges and purples and then pinks and reds in here. And this one is called Savory Truffle, which I find hilarious. My husband, it was like probably a month or so ago, we were trying to like name Beatles songs, and he was like, okay, I bet I know most of them, or I've heard most of them. And I'm like, And so I pull out the White Album, of course, and put on Savory Truffle. And he's like, what is this? Anyways, and then the tonal, which it is more of, I would say it's like a dragon fruit pink, if that makes sense. It's coming out a little less like, you know, saturated on camera, which usually happens. This one's perfect because it is probably, well, it is up there with my favorite Beatles songs, and it is Oh Darling. I have always loved this song. Paul's voice in it is beautiful, and it's just a fun love song. So those two paired together, absolutely beautiful. Very excited to add those to my Beatles yarn collection. Okay, next, this one also, I believe, I'm pretty sure this is my last row one as well. I was debating between just pausing and canceling the subscription because this is one I know, excuse me, that I will be picking back up after baby is here and I'm back at work again. And, you know, making good money. But I decided and probably, like, they do send out like a monthly email. It's like, hey, your recurring, you know, thing is coming up soon. And they give you the chance to like deposit or to skip a month. But it's probably going to be 3-4 months before I am back. And so I decided to just cancel it. I did write them a nice note and say I will be returning, I promise. Because I always feel bad when I cancel subscriptions to like just local companies that I love that support, especially local artists. Anyway, so here it is. I've had this for a while. I like that it's a lot of kind of blues and purples. And then there are also, there's a little bit of orange, and this one right here, it's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can pull that down. There it is. It's like a dark kind of maroon, but I really like it. And this is from Frogget Yarns, which is one I've actually kind of been wanting to try for a while. Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady was sent some of their yarn, I believe. It was like last Christmas that I think it was her first one. And it, like, the yarn is gorgeous, and I almost bought some, but I didn't. Because I have, you know, we were moving, and then I have too much yarn, so we got to use it up. But yeah, so that is really pretty. And then the little stitch marker, it's a fun little skull and crossbones. And then of course they add a stitch marker so that if you don't want it to just be a plain stitch marker, you can make it into a progress keeper and or other. So yes, that is the yarn that came. And then my birthday present to myself. I have been wanting to try these hooks for a while, but they are mucho dinero. Very expensive, lots of money. What is it? Elise from, I believe it's just Elise Rose Crochet now is her name. Used to be Le Petit Saint Crochet. She tried these out and said that they were amazing. She just tried one of them though. But even then she was like, this is like one of the most amazing hooks of all time. It is from Stellar Handicraft. And since I also recently just got the Furls crochet hooks, I only got the small sizes that Furls does not offer. So it is B, C, and D, I believe, are the ones I got. So this is the B 2.0 millimeter hook. Very, very tiny. Yeah, very tiny hook. You can hardly see it. But I am very excited to try this. The C one I am going to be trying for my Beatles blanket at some point. But I like the big handle. crochet steak knife style. But I like that it has like this nice spot for the back of my hand or palm to rest. There is no like thumb grip or thumb hold, but I think that it will be fine without that, especially given how easy this is to hold. So yeah, I'm very excited to try these out. They come in these really fancy boxes. But yeah, I won't show you the other sizes because they look the exact same. And then they sent a little stitch marker with it. So very excited for that. They do have a warranty as well even. So I don't know what the warranty is, but I need to register my 3 hooks. And if I end up liking them, eventually I'll probably end up getting the set. I do also still need to see exactly how the furls ones also hold up. I was, before grabbing my blanket, I was feeling, or my, Anthology Throw blanket, I was feeling a big itch to crochet, and I got a free pattern for a Granny Hexie cardigan, and I ended up not doing that. I ended up getting this one instead because I was like, I need to get more projects off of my needles, because I would love to knit eventually, and hopefully I can do that in the new year. Actually, a year later from when I wanted to start my rainbow cardigan collection that I want to do of straw cardigans. All the yarn is wound. It's all wound and in bags up in this closet up there. You can't see the closet because it's barely off camera. But it's been wound for a long time now, and I would love to use it because it's beautiful yarn, and I wear so many. I have not worn a lot of cardigans this year because, you know, obvious bodily changes that have happened thanks pregnancy, but usually I am like always wearing a cardigan even through the summer, basically, unless it's like a bajillion degrees. Usually I will bring a cardigan with me. Yeah, it's been like the weirdest year. I was telling my aunt the other day that it's just weird because usually I run super cold. My family all does. I'm usually wearing socks all the time. Finally, it's gotten cold enough in mid-October to where now I'm starting to like wear socks again all the time. Still not to bed though, which is again weird because I usually wear socks to bed at all stages of the year, all seasons of the year. But yeah. So that's that. But anyways, I usually wear cardigans all the time, and I love the straw cardigan so much, and how it turned out that I want to knit one in basically every single color of the rainbow. I got, for those of you that weren't following on my Instagram, forever, this was over a year ago now too, but my local yarn store in Colorado, Colorful Yarns, did a collab with, they actually did 3 dyers, I learned. I thought it was just originally 1, but it's actually 3 different dyers that they would do a collab with every single month and do a color of the month. And so I started in March. I was able to get February's because I still had that left over. And then all throughout the year, once a month, I would go and pick up my 5 skeins of one of their colors. And I have like all of that up there ready to knit. So I am very, very excited. But yes, anyways, so I would love to get that started in the new year. If I can get down in projects to having, my 2 blankets, the Sweet Shop, and my row 1, especially if I'm caught up on my row 1, that would be amazing, but I know that's not going to happen with a baby. I'm not going to put that out there. But if I could be caught up with those, then I feel really, really comfortable casting on like my 18 sweaters. I think that there's actually like 20 up there. Yeah, like 18 to 20 sweaters quantities is what I have. And I know I will not get all of it knit in a year, especially with a baby and having to work. But I can at least get started and hopefully make some good progress on them. I was even thinking the other day of probably dividing it into 2 sections of cardigans. But yeah, anyways, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so that's my knitting. The only other projects I think I have on the needles are my Beatles blanket technically, but that's a crochet one. So I have not touched it in, I think, about a year now. because I did put that one down to work on my other projects I was finishing up at this time last year, because this time last year we just kind of found out we were most likely going to move. So I really started to finish up some of those lingering projects. So yeah, anyways, I don't think I've touched that one for a year. My husband's socks are another one I still have. Again, I'm waiting for my lovely hands to not be swollen, because working with such tiny needles with slightly swollen pregnancy hands, it does not feel very good. So we are going to avoid causing long-term damage to my fingers and hands and wrists, and we're just gonna wait. There's only the foot and the toe left, so they should not take more than like 2 weeks tops to finish if I work on them continuously. Yes, and then if I can get, well, I'm gonna get the Advent one done by the end of this year for sure, because I'm so close already. But yeah, so if I can finish up like those 2 things, I'll be fine. And then have 2 blankets and then my sweaters that I'll cast on for next year. Yes, let me see what else. Oh, I did also order some Polka Dot Creek yarn. They're bouquets, but they have not shipped yet because they're in Canada. I'm assuming it's because of the stupid tariffs. So yes, we are waiting to kind of see what that happens. I ordered those like 2 days before my birthday. I got some birthday money, so that's what I spent that on. I think that's all of the yarny stuff. So now we can go on to life stuff. Pregnancy, because that's the big one. Yeah, 36 weeks pregnant. Everything sucks real bad. The last 2 weeks have been terrible. Terrible because she has started to drop pretty low, actually very low, into my pelvis, which is what she's supposed to do. It's a good thing. Because for those of you that don't know, in order for baby to come out, baby's head has to put pressure on my cervix in order to get the right hormones going, and then, you know, the right pressure on there for it to eventually dilate and contractions to start. So she's doing the right thing, getting her head down there. She is head down, we confirmed yesterday at my OB appointment. So yeah, that is all good. She weighs over 6 pounds now, according to all the books and, you know, all those fun little updates that they give you week by week of how big your baby is. But yeah, it's really hard to picture too now that there is a full-sized baby basically inside my stomach. She has 4 days left to cook and then she can come out. So she's basically done, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, anyways, we have been doing a lot this last couple of weeks to finish prepping for her. 2 weeks ago, all of our meals are done, our freezer meals. The last things that we wanted to get done were some Spanish rice and, sorry, I need a deep breath there, and some garlic bread. So we finished that up. That is all in there. This week we kind of did our last big Amazon order of just stuff we're going to need. Somehow they still ship to our door, which I thought that starting October 1st they weren't going to. They were going to only ship to my parents' house, which we were fine doing that and then just going and grabbing it. But yeah, we got extra dog food for the girls because we don't want to have to order that, because that's a big expense in the middle of our, you know, postpartum thing. So we just got that out of the way. So we'll have extra dog food for them. They were out of treats too, so we had to get them more treats. Oh, and then this is such a dumb thing that people do. So it's like smart, but like the way that people sell it is dumb. Anyways, so a lot of people on their diaper bags will have, or like even on their stroller, will have a baby poop bag dispenser. Which if you don't have access to like a trash can right away, great idea, right? Because you can throw the diaper into the poop bag, or they call them diaper bag. It's literally the exact same thing as just normal doggy poop bags. We use earth rated. They smell great. The lavender scent's amazing. And then they also, what is it? If I remember it, they're biodegradable, or at least certain ones of them are. And then I think they used recycled materials on their other ones. Yeah, they used at least 65% of recycled plastic. And and then they have other ones. The other ones cost a little bit more, and so now that we are having a baby, we just get the normal ones. But their other ones are compostable, which I used those before when we were in Colorado, and they were great. But anyways, a lot of people get for like $15 to $20 a baby diaper dispenser. It's literally just a doggy poop bag dispenser. Go to PetSmart or go on Amazon and order the $2 one. You will save yourself so much money. But anyways, we had to get more poop bags, so we got, the 900 pack. The 600 pack lasts us almost a whole year with our girls, which makes sense because they go like once a day, sometimes twice. Anyways, then you use it to clean up other things in your house. But the 900 pack comes with a free poop bag dispenser, and so we got one more for baby to clip onto her diaper bag. Oh, and then we had to get BB more tennis balls because she ran out after a whole year. Her 36, well, I think it's a 36 pack. She finally ran out of them. So we ordered her more of those because that's important for her to still feel loved when we have the baby. Yeah, what else? Oh, and then we've been doing a lot of cleaning. Originally on Friday, so tomorrow actually, my family is going to come over, at least my mom and my dad were, and help us clean because it's getting to the point where it's really, really hard for me to clean. My husband's great and helps me clean, but he actually has had to do a lot of overtime work. It's about time for their updates at work. And so it's actually like right after baby's due date is when his big updates for the year start. But to prep for that, they've been trying to do a couple other things, and they actually have to do them after hours. And so if I can talk correctly, oh my goodness. But he's been having to put in a lot of overtime hours for this one thing to do. Or this one thing to run properly. Which is good because next year he's gonna have like a ton of vacation time because his company allows him to convert overtime to vacation time, extra vacation time the next year. So he'll have some extra PTO. And then also he's to the point where he can start cashing it out too because he can only have so much vacation time or PTO from your previous year's overtime, if that makes any sense. And so they just start cashing it out. So he's almost at the point, actually, before his long, long overnights start for this update. But anyways, he's at the point where he can almost start cashing it out too, or has to. So yeah, that will be like just good for him to have for next year with a little baby at our family. But anyways, they're supposed to come over Friday and help out. Change of plans because we had something kind of crazy happen in our family, to put it lightly. But we will announce that once this person feels a little more comfortable having other people know about it. But for now, we're just going to keep it quiet to our family. But anyways, that happened, and so my mom is now like triply busy because she is, helping this one person out as she should be. But yeah, it makes it a little difficult because I, as the pregnant lady, now have to figure out how to clean a whole house and more, and finish setting up the nursery and kind of doing all the little last minute things that we want done before baby comes. So we split it. Luckily at work this week, it was pretty light, so I was able to split it into really 3 days. Tuesday, we vacuumed and swept under all of the furniture, and then washed the rugs, at least the smaller ones, and then vacuumed the bigger rugs, which I vacuum them like once a week. I vacuum them every other week, and still there's just like so much dog hair that it gets caught on them. But anyways, our stick vacuum has been a lifesaver, and I'm very glad I got that for our family. My husband is too, because he sees what's in there and he's like, oh, we were like living in this? I'm like, yeah, we were. We were just used to it though. We don't care. We have a very shitty dog and we know that. But yeah, so we did that on Tuesday, and then yesterday I did the rest of the house cleaning, normal house cleaning, I should say. And then today I have to finish. There's 2 other areas we want clean. And that is sweeping the garage, which when I got home from work, because both of our cars were like technically out of the garage, I quickly sweeped it all over to my husband's side, and it's in a pile. I just have to get under like the rest of where the cardboard is that we need to break down, and then just sweep it and throw it in the trash. So that will take not very long. And then the other one is we have a little shoe locker area. It just needs to be swept out because enough dirt has accumulated over the last almost year that we've lived here, that we should probably clean that out so that it doesn't get, tracked all over the house. And it's, it's getting to be colder again, so it's about time we swap out our sandals for, some boots and stuff to put down there. So that's kind of all that's left. And then our laundry just finished too. I just finished washing all the towels in the house. We do have guests coming over this weekend too, so had to make sure that they have clean towels. Yeah, so that's kind of the rest of the baby prep that we've done. Other things that I don't think we'll be doing today, I will probably do tomorrow because I am already exhausted today. We gotta sterilize all of the pump parts for my breast pump, all of the bottle parts, and all of the pacifiers, basically anything that will touch baby's mouth. But we had the rest of that come the other day, actually, the rest of those items, and then we were actually gifted a lot of those items, so thank you to especially my husband's coworkers. They gave us a very amazing and generous gift that we will love for forever. But we are now able to do this. I wanted to do sterilization this week anyways, at least like the big one, and then whatever else we needed we could do over time. But that will happen. I was gonna do it today. It's not happening today. We're gonna do it tomorrow now. We got to take the stroller down to the garage. I was waiting to clean the garage out to like keep the stroller as nice as possible. And then we're gonna start taking our dogs on like practice walks with it to see how they do, kind of train. I'm more worried about our little one specifically just because she pulls a lot on walks. I think she'll be okay with the stroller, but we will see. I think we have the really big S carabiners. I think we're going to clip one of those to the handle of the stroller and then put their leashes on that. That way I can push the stroller and be hands-free, but still have the girls with me. So we'll see how that goes. But yes. What else do we gotta do? There's one other thing and now I'm spacing it. Oh, set up the monitor, the baby monitor. It's close enough now we can do that. And then next week we are gonna set up our doggy gate / baby gate, but really it's a dog gate. We're gonna put it at the top of these stairs because we will be having, I'm assuming, company over. We haven't yet. Nobody's come to visit us except for my mom and my dad like twice, which is partially, my bad for being so sick. But yeah, we don't want our girls jumping all over our visitors, which they are not aggressive. They just like people a lot and they get really excited. And so they a lot of times will jump on people. Even Chani, she's usually very good at not doing that, but if she sees her sister doing it when people are over, she will do it too. But we don't want to have them in their kennels for like hours at a time. We still want them to run around and have fun. So we're going to, I think, put baby gate right here at the top of the stairs. And that will, they will stay up here while baby is downstairs. I wanted to wait until next week though, just because I'm already clumsier due to being pregnant and I don't want to accidentally trip and fall down the stairs with baby in my belly. So we're waiting till next week. What else is there? We'll probably actually do it right when we're home from the hospital, honestly, I think. Trying to think of anything else baby related that we did this week. in the last week. Oh, I'm tired, man. I guess pregnancy symptoms we can go over now. She's definitely dropped. So now I have to pee every like 3 seconds because her head is right on my bladder, so that's nice. I thought first trimester was bad. It is not. At least with the bladder issues. Third trimester definitely trumps first trimester bladder issues. What else is there? Oh, heartburn. My heartburn the last couple weeks has gone up. Really, it's been like the last like 3-4 days. Gone up exponentially. It's like I eat bread and I get heartburn from eating plain bread. Which is crazy because I was always taught you eat, you know, bread or crackers or like something spongy that will soak up all your stomach acid. So, yeah, that's not working anymore. So that's fun. I basically live off of Tums. Thank goodness they're pregnancy safe, although always check with your provider. Yeah, so we've almost gone through a whole big bottle within, I think we got it last month actually. So it's been about a month. We've almost gone through the giant bottle of Tums. Yeah, so that's nice. Hopefully we don't have to get a new one before she comes. She is so heavy now. Like it's like everything is just exhausting now because of how heavy she is. She herself is about 6+ pounds. Anywhere between, this week she'll be between 6 and 6.5 pounds essentially. And then that's not even including the amniotic fluid, the extra blood flowing through my body, all the extra weight, you know, that I've put on to support this baby. And so it's a lot. And there's water retention too. But yeah, so hopefully in 4 days I go into labor immediately and get her out. But yeah, according to my mother-in-law, because there's Mexican, what is it? I don't want to call it folklore. Mexican, wives' tales, I guess, is like the better thing to describe it as. But if you can fit underneath your breast, if you can fit all 5 fingers before your stomach starts, that means that your baby has dropped and is ready to come out. And I can fit all 5 fingers. And so according to my mother-in-law and Mexican wives' tales, I'm ready to go into labor, I guess. Oh yeah, we also over the last weekend, had a little, I wouldn't even say scare, but I essentially was feeling like a pretty decent, I would say it was a moderate period cramp. Like it was definitely up there on the pain scale, but I could still like move around and kind of talk, you know, good enough to communicate to people. But it didn't have me like doubled over in pain, I guess. But for me, that would probably be a moderate period cramp. It lasted about 30 minutes, and then we decided to go ahead and call the hospital just to make sure everything was okay, because there were no other labor signs, no other symptoms. But they were like, yeah, because it's like moderate, it's been going on for so long, you should probably come in. And so we got to spend about 3 hours in the emergency labor and delivery section of the hospital on Saturday night. Well, it was afternoon tonight. And yeah, that was fun. Nothing happened. They gave me a muscle relaxant along with like a bajillion Tylenol. And that helped a lot. I have felt that happen a couple other times, but they said don't worry about it unless there are other symptoms that accompany it. Essentially what they said is baby is moving her head down and that's why I'm cramping. I was like, where does this come from? Like, why would that make me cramp up? But yeah, after we got home, I did like Google it just to see like if that really, like, not that I don't trust doctors. I do trust doctors with like all my heart. But it's just good for me to know as well, be like, hey, did other people experience this too, or is this just me? No, it's a thing apparently, but not a lot of people experience that during pregnancy. Of course, right? Of course I'd be one of the only ones that experiences that. So yeah, that is That was our fun Saturday experience. But yeah, they did check, because they're doing a lot of swabs and tests down there. They did check dilation just to make sure everything was okay. I'm 1 centimeter dilated as of Saturday, 20% effaced. So not super, far along, but enough for me to go, yes, we're getting there. So I know it's normal to be about 1 to 3 centimeters dilated before labor even begins. But any little bit, I am happy to hear that, we are on the way there. So yeah, she should hopefully be coming up close. I also got another COVID vaccine or booster yesterday. They apparently came out with a new one since the one I got technically it was last year in like March. April or March, I think, is when I last got it. It would have been April, actually. But, so we got that, so we are all good and set. That is the last vaccine I need to get, or can get, I guess, before labor. So we are all done with those. Yeah, so that's been fun. Sleeping is a nightmare, especially the last couple nights, being, both already very extremely pregnant and then now having to pee that much more often because of how low she is in my pelvis. It sucks. I basically wake up every 1 to 2 hours, and then half the time I can't even fall back asleep. So running on very little sleep, yeah, we'll probably get a nap in the next couple days, a good nap to try to help with that. Especially before hopefully going into labor, we want to be a little more well rested. At work too, it's getting to the point where I've kind of talked about this, my body is just getting tired. So I'm probably for next week gonna go down from 6 dogs to 4 to 5 dogs, just because it's very difficult, more so on my back when I am washing dogs. To do more than like 3 to 4. I can make it to 5 or 6 if needed. But then my back is killing for the rest of the day. And my sciatic nerve flares up randomly. It's great. And I hate it when that happens when I'm washing a dog. But yeah, so we're probably gonna go down for the last couple weeks of pregnancy, just to help a little bit out with that. I think that is everything pregnancy related. Yeah, so now we're kind of just playing the waiting game. So much fun. Yeah, I don't think I can keep her in any more than 4 days. I am so ready to get this baby out, and to get back to being me, because I have missed that very dearly. But yeah, anyways, and then, yeah, it was my birthday on Friday. Did not seem like it at all. I mean, it was very sweet. My husband got me a blanket that I had asked for, mainly for postpartum. I love soft blankets, and so we went to Minky Couture. I'm not picky about which one it was, so I found a couple of the sale ones that were like, I think that they were over half off, essentially. Yeah, they were over half off because the one I supposedly got is usually like $350. No, it's like $100 if you get it in the clearance section, so that's a pro tip there. Hi, I know. But anyways, so that we got one of those for my birthday. He ordered it for me, which is so sweet. So I'm very excited to have a new, just very soft blanket to wrap up postpartum. The other thing I asked for was dining chairs from my mom and dad. And so they got us dining chairs. They're awesome. Our whole house is basically, you can't really see it here because this is like black and whatever. But most of our house is the same colors as our wedding colors, surprisingly, which is kind of like a sagey. I think that the chair color actually was pistachio green, but it's kind of like a sage green, and then navy blue. That's what 90% of our furnishings are in, or like if we can incorporate that somehow, that's what we usually do. Which is perfect. My favorite colors have always been green and blue, and my husband's favorite color is navy blue, and so we just squashed them together and it works perfectly. Anyways, the chairs we got were in the shade of green that most of our furniture is in. But anyways, now we have a dining table with dining chairs. I personally have not used them yet. We still have been sitting at the counter because our dining table is, it kind of became like our catch-all space for a while, so we just need to, that's something we're gonna do this weekend actually, is clean that off. But yeah, so that, but my husband ate his lunch at it the other day. He's like, this is awesome. I love having a dining table. So very excited to be able to use that. And then also to host people now for like dinner, because we actually will have the seating space. So very excited for that. What else is there? I think that's all. That's what I asked for my birthday. Media stuff. We finished Peacemaker. Had a decent ending, I would say. I think that I definitely like season 1 better, but season 2 is still pretty good. A lot more slow pace, especially at the beginning. Wait, hello, do you want to play? Yeah, she wants to play. Yeah, a lot slower pace, I'd say, than season 1, especially kind of, it's like the beginning to mid-season it's pretty slow. I don't know if last time we had finished Alien, but that one we did, and that was pretty good. We watched, I believe it was called When the Levee Breaks. It's a Hurricane Katrina documentary on Netflix. That one was amazing, and wow, our country sucks big time. But I mean, I knew that. But yeah, that was a really good one. The last episode especially, at first we were kind of like weirded out because it's a totally different format than the other two episodes, but it was really, really cool to go and get like different people's perspectives and like kind of stories around it more. So that was awesome. What else? Oh, we watched the Jared from Subway documentary. We finished that, I believe it was last night. And then we've been watching Only Murders in the Building. That one's still coming out weekly. That one's just, it's always great, always a fun laugh. And then the other one is Love is Blind. I believe it's season 9 came out. Typically I would just watch it all by myself and binge watch it, but this season took place in Denver, and so my husband wanted to watch it. One, he wanted to see if he knew anyone, because he usually does in those things. He does not know anyone though. But it's fun because now they are back in the Mile High City, at least to the point where we're at, and living in their apartment. Fun fact, the apartments that they got them are condemned because they like flooded or something. But yeah, it's fun because they're like right by Union Stations. We like are like, hey, like we know that part of the freeway, and hey, we've been there. And they'll talk about certain restaurants or like activities that we both like are very familiar with because we lived there for what, it was almost 4 years. I think I was over there for 4 years. Almost 4 years we were over there, but we love Denver. It's great. Great city. We miss it. But yeah, I think that was all media stuff then. And now I am tired. I got to go finish up with the last couple of chores, which includes blocking my sweaters. So I'm very excited for that. So we will do that. But yeah, and then I am probably gonna crash the rest of the night too. I will sit and knit and just take it easy the rest of the night. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I do not know when the next one of these is because like I said, baby could come in 4 days and hopefully she does, because I don't know how much longer of being pregnant I can take. But we'll see when she actually comes. I do have a feeling though that it's gonna be by week 38. My husband has been getting a real like a real feeling that she's coming next week. So either next week, week 37 or week 38, hopefully. Yeah, basically all the babies in our family have been 2-3 weeks early, including all of my cousins and my Nana herself and my mom and her sisters were all a little early. All my siblings were early. My husband and his sister were early, so we will hope and pray that this baby too is about 2-3 weeks early. That would be fantastic. But yeah, we are ready for her. We have everything prepared and ready, and we want her here, and I want her out of me. But yeah, that's that. So yeah, I don't know when the next one of these is. It'll either be in 1 to 2 weeks. Actually not 1 week, it would be within 2 weeks. I would not do one next week. Because next week if she's not here, we're gonna also have more things to do to get ready. And we'll probably just be way too tired at that point because I am already just exhausted. Yeah. What and then if we do have baby next week or the week after, it'll be a while. So yeah, we will just play it by ear, I guess, of when my next yarn update will be. And then I'll be able to have my fun birth story as well. We're not really going to be filming much of it. We'll take some photos, but obviously we want it to be more of a special moment between me, my baby, my husband. Yeah, we're not going to bring the outside world. My husband did tell me, though, there was this, it wasn't even a YouTuber, it was like a Twitch streamer that they literally were doing a at-home birth, and they live streamed the entire process, I guess, start to finish, labor to birth, which I can't imagine. Like, my husband was like, this is insane. And I'm like, yes. Like, I can get, you know, some of the vloggers doing it, some of those people do it, because you'll film and then you'll edit it, so you edit out all the bad parts. They had it set up so you could see everything going on, and it was, yeah, I would never. But yeah, no editing out there. But yeah, anyways, that was weird. But yeah, we won't be filming, but I will share, just like I do with my pregnancy, all the fun details so people know. Because the more knowledge and wisdom that we have, even just hearing from other people, it's power, especially in the women's health, because we don't get a lot of that. But yeah. Anyways, that's that. We will see you when we see you. Hopefully baby, just hope and pray the baby comes in the next, you know, few days. Very much. In the next week, that would be very much appreciated. But we will see you then, and hopefully we have some fun projects done or close to done by then. Bye-bye!